What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? So welcome to Friday's episode. So if you have not already, please go back. Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday's discussion. Thursday will most likely be a throwback, so I'll be showcasing or highlighting an older episode. I typically choose the ones that have guests on, right? I find those to be interesting, but every now and then I'll find one that, for whatever reason, has spiked. So I'll play a throwback of me and Shannon, or me, Shannon, Levine, or what have you. Because the most random videos get like a ton of views and likes on YouTube sometimes. I'll pick those. I'm like, I don't know why this one blew up, but here it is again. Enjoy. But we have a very robust catalog. We have over 440 videos, right? And audio episodes. So I like to dig into the archives and bring some stuff up that's usually pretty relevant to the day, right? Because a lot of things have evolved since we started the show 3 years ago, but it's sometimes the same actors performing their nefarious deeds and things of that nature. So I like to highlight those. Also Thursday, we had Delisha Hodo. She is the Assistant Director of Advising over at the SANS Institute. So we talked about her background and experience, how she is cyber adjacent. However, she is a champion within the field. And she's bringing on people of color, people who would normally have access to cybersecurity, women, HBCU current students, alum, and veterans, right? SANS has a path for you to get in there. Again, it's not a veiled advertisement. They're not paying me. But if someone out there wants to acquire us for $28 billion like they did Splunk this a couple days ago, I'm cool with that. I will, I guess I'll sell. Without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon. How was your week?
Oh man, I keep thinking of hustle, man. I'm sorry, but man, my week was good, man. This week, not a lot of media watching. I'm trying to get into Madden. Like I spent the money, so I'm like, okay, let me put the time in, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what is going on with this. Like it's just I'm not feeling it this year, but I know that once October comes, I say this every week, right? Once October comes, Spider-Man's getting that run. So,
yeah, that's right around the corner.
I know, it's close.
20th?
20th. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I know in a little less than a month, it's going to be getting all types of runs. So nothing else will be getting playtime. So I'm like, let me try to get my money's worth out of this. Just did a lot of watching like football games that came on the past week. So NFL Network, like if you have NFL Network, they'll replay games from the weekend that you may not have actually seen, right? So like I don't have Sunday tickets, so I can't see every game that's out there on Sunday. And even then you can't watch them all at the same time anyway. Although YouTube TV, the way they do it this year, and I don't know if DirecTV did the same thing. You can watch 4 games at once, apparently, with the way they have it set up now. So you can have 4 of them.
Nice. It's like a war room of football.
I know, right? Like you got a big enough TV, it's a data wall. You know what I mean? Just looking at it like, oh yeah, I like what I'm seeing, right? Which is kind of cool. But I just like NFL Network will play. It seems like every game throughout the week. So I'll look at one that I'm like, oh man, that was a pretty good game. And they take the commercial breaks and stuff out too, right? Like they still have breaks in there, but like it'll just go, when they go to commercial, when they tell you they're going to commercial, then they just come back. You know what I mean? So I like that. Something I did watch that was new was this series, The Continental. Did you hear about this?
So I was going to ask if you had watched it. So I'm halfway through the first episode.
So I did. It starts out with a bang. Like it starts out really good. Then it slows down and then you get more fight scenes.
I'm in the slowdown.
Yeah. Then you get more fight scenes, and then I'd like for it to be more continual. So there's only going to be 3 episodes. Like when I saw this series, it's only going to be 3. They're an hour and a half each, I think.
Oh,
the first one's an hour and a half. Like
I was like, this feels long.
Yeah. It's an hour and a half, and every Friday they post it. So the fight scenes are incredible.
So it's 3 movies basically.
Pretty much.
Okay. Then I feel a little bit better then, because I was like, man, this is dragging.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
So it's only a 3-part series, and the way this one ends, I'm like, okay, now Now it's gonna be like the movies. It's what I'm thinking, you know
Okay.
what I mean? So that's my hope anyway. But I think I know where they're going with this though. Like the way I don't know. I'll let you finish it. Hit me up after you
Okay.
finish it, right? And then I'll tell you what I believe to be where they're going, because this is set in the 70s, right? So it's still the
Yeah.
Continental in New York in
Yeah.
the 70s.
Yeah. Well, a good soundtrack. I was like, okay, yeah,
It's crazy, right? Yeah,
I'm feeling it.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, some of the characters they're introducing, like it feels like they're trying to be funny, and I'm like, I ain't come here for that. I came here for the Invictus. Hit the red light. This is start murdering people in the hotel real quick.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know where it's going. I don't like that they're trying to be like if they're trying to be funny and we're pulling it off, that'd be one thing, but it's not really doing it for me.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. So let me ask you this. Do you think that because of the actors in it, like you just don't like some of the actors in it?
No, so that surprised me because I saw Mel Gibson's name popped up. I was like, Mel Gibson's in this, and then like literally, he's like in the next scene or whatever. I was like, it's okay. Like I'm trying to warm up to people who have I'm trying to
Troublesome past,
yeah
right?
troublesome like yeah because I used to be a big Mel Gibson fan, right? And then he had all that stuff that popped off, and I was just like, nah, I'm kind of turned off to him. I'm not gonna watch his stuff. Um, but he has been making strides and whatnot. So I'm trying to flip that switch. Like if you're just garbage and you just continue to be garbage, then I'm not going to mess with your material. But it seems as though he's trying to work his way back into the limelight and do positive things and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to give you a shot. But so far, I mean, even his stuff, like I'm to the part where he's like, I can't do what I want to do in the hotel, so you should do it for me, basically, or I'm gonna do something bad to your family. So I'm like, oh, okay, like that. I can see kind of where his character is, you know, potentially going, right? Like his role in the series. But even then, they try to throw some levity in there, and I'm just like, it's not that funny. Like
If that's as far as you got, you're not even halfway yet.
I'm not even halfway.
No, because like at
Dragging.
that point, you talking about where he's talking to the guys in his office, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like, or so I'm to the point where uh Buddy gets rolled up and brought to the office. Like, I need you to do me a job. I need you to do a job for me. And he tells him kick rocks.
Yeah, no, you're not
I'm not
halfway.
even halfway.
Again, it's an hour and a half, man. Like that's got to only be maybe 20 minutes into it, right?
Ah, okay. Well, that makes more
You
sense then,
probably thought it
because
was
I'm
an
like
hour. Yeah,
yeah, because I thought it was half an hour show or whatever. So I was like, okay,
yeah,
it's about to wrap up, and I was like, I learned nothing.
yeah.
I care not for these characters.
No, there's gonna be some more. So like yeah, but they did roll them up. Yeah. but yeah, no, it's I think it will be better. Like I said, it starts off with a bang, right? Like that first
Yeah.
part, you're just like,
Well, so and I'm coming in with expectations, right? Like my favorite part of John Wick, like I love Keanu Reeves. I love how the movies go back to back to back. They go hard. I really enjoy them, right? Action packed movies. But I actually like the B story a lot. Like that world. Like I'm excited for like I think Ballerina is going to be a movie that comes out. Like I'm excited to dig deeper into the Continental in that history.
is
Uh,
Ballerina a movie or a series? Ballerina's gonna be a movie?
I thought it was gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a series too. It's gonna have
I,
two series, Continental and Ballerina.
I just thought it was going to be. See, now you got me checked.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I didn't try to dig too deep because I haven't watched John Wick 4 yet, so I don't want anything to spoil me
Oh man, really?
before. Yeah, yeah, I'm waiting, right? So I missed it because it was during the period of time where I still wasn't going to the movies all like that.
Yeah.
And now waiting for it to stream, and it's taking forever to jump on streaming. So Junior has not watched any of them. So I'm like, hey, hold out, and then we'll marathon it. So Continental is I was like, okay, this is a prequel. They hopefully won't spoil anything for me, and I just really like that world. So I'm like, I want to dig deeper into it, but I don't know if it's going to scratch that itch because it just feels kind of like it's a different John Wick story. Like I was hoping to get more of the table and the console and the all the rules to how this world works, right? Because the world between worlds. So they gave me a little bit of that when they're both standing in the train station, and the train's coming, everybody's celebrating because it's the new year, but they're not, right? Because they're on a mission. And like, but no one peeps this, like these two creeps. So I'm not sure if it's gonna get me or not. I'm hoping.
You're right. It is a movie. Ballerina
Is
is a
it okay?
yeah, it's a movie. You're
Yeah.
right.
So I'm excited to see them elaborate on the world, because it's kind of like what I wanted from the Matrix. Like I want to know more about the world, less about these specific characters, right? Like I've seen them from 4 or 5 movies. Let's dig a little bit deeper because there's a whole world around them, and I never really got that from the Matrix. So I was hoping to get that from John Wick. So it seems like they're trying to get there, and I'm not sure if they're going to get there though. What else you got? So you watching
That was
Continental?
that was kind of it, man. Football games when I got home yesterday. So I
Yeah.
don't I don't know if
What's
anybody
the
saw
Colorado game?
Colorado beat down. No, I was out with the family. So like that's kind of the compromise, right? Like I like college football too.
Yeah.
But if my wife is going to leave me alone on Sunday, I got to do stuff on Saturday. So we,
Gotcha,
we
gotcha.
were out and about.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
and I was paying attention to it. One of my coworkers is an Oregon fan, and he was like, "Oh, they're gonna beat them down and second and third." And I'm like, "Yeah, it'll probably be close." Like I was definitely wrong. Like, hey, they took that
No,
with
so
them.
I was expecting to beat down. I'm not big into college, but like college scores go hard. Maybe like 64-0. Like it's be making up scores. So I was expecting for it to be lopsided, and for people to start trash talking, right? But at the end of the day, like it's still amazing. He took a team that wins one game, and he's already tripled that, right? You wouldn't expect in his first season to go up against a powerhouse like Oregon and smash them too. That'd be unrealistic. This is not a movie, right? Like, this is real life. But he's doing really well. So I'm hoping that they win a few more. And I think that right there solidifies the team will be fine going into next year. It's not a fluke.
Yeah, I mean they got a tough schedule because they play USC next week, and USC is ranked like number 5. Like
Gotcha.
they're ranked higher than what Oregon was, and USC is a powerhouse. Now, I don't know. I didn't expect them to win against Oregon or USC, but I expected it to be close. And like they're without their best player right now. Like Travis Hunter is going to be down for 3 weeks.
Right, because that cheap shot.
So yeah, yeah. So it's one of those things where I was like, all right, they're definitely not going to win, but I did still expect it to be somewhat close, but it was not close.
Right, right. So we'll see what the future holds, right? But I mean, he's already. I think he's doing a good job. He's bringing awareness. He's probably selling crazy tickets. He's got the most televised games. He's selling shades now. But all of that, I think, feeds back into the program, and getting those kids some shine, and getting the institution notice, right? And he seems to be a pretty good coach. So
You know what's crazy about that is that when he signed his contract, they didn't have the money to pay him.
right, so yeah,
I
there's
was
just
like,
like we
what?
we feel confident that we will get it.
Yeah. I tell people at work, I was like, this guy single-handedly improved the Colorado economy. Like, I'm sure of it. Like, I don't have the numbers
Right.
to back that up, but I'm just sure of it.
Right. It's got that the Taylor Swift and Beyonce effect, right? They come to your
Yeah.
town. It brings commerce and trade to you. So
I'm telling you, man, because after that first game when they played TCU, I just looked at tickets when they were coming home to play Nebraska. I just looked at them and I was like, wow, these are NFL price tickets. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. Like I tried to, I don't know if I said this before when we talked about it. Like I tried to go to StubHub, like just to purchase those tickets,
yeah,
and the site was down like within minutes after the game,
right, right.
minutes or so.
Yeah. So I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's a good look for him and for the institution. I don't think it's like, because a lot of people saying it's gimmicky, he's just there to get the bag, yada yada yada. Yeah, it's part of it, but I think as a whole, he's it's not like uh BS High, right? We watched BS High School documentary a couple weeks ago. It's not like that. He didn't come there as not unqualified, just to get money, and then lead these kids astray. I keep saying kids; these are adults in college, right? But young adults. I think there's more to it, and I think he's going to do very well over the next few years. I don't see him jump into the NFL though. Like I don't think he wants to. So I think he'll remain in college for years to come.
But here's the thing, though. Even if that was the case, Why would that be an argument? You telling me these other college coaches aren't looking for better opportunities, even if
But
they
yeah, college, like, so I have not looked at it recently, but college coaches were making some of the biggest bags ever. Even at mediocre institutions, they were making crazy money. I don't know if that's changed since the Neil deal, right? Because I would assume the bottom line is the bottom line, right? The institution needs to make a certain amount of money uh, to keep doing what it's doing. So I don't know if that comes out of the coach's pocket or if it's going to be like they're just bringing in more money. I don't know how that cash flow works now that the students are getting paid. Um, but at the end of the day, they're still making crazy money.
the school, but the thing is, the school isn't necessarily paying that though, right? Like it's boosters that are giving more money to say, hey, we
Yeah, that's true
players
too. I
here.
forget about how that system is legal, but weird, right? But
That's because for years they were against it. And I don't understand. Like, if you have a successful football program at these big blue blood colleges, like they are supporting all these other sports that are losing money. Like I hate to say it, right? Like they're supporting like the field hockey team. You know what I mean? No,
right, right,
field hockey is not making money to have these people travel and do all this. It's in the red every year until these football teams go to a bowl game. Or if you're a big college basketball team, right? They're going to the Final Four. You're doing March Madness. Like they're making money. You know what I mean? So they're supporting these other ones that are not as profitable. You know what I mean?
right,
So I don't get the hate on it.
right. He said the field hockey team or like the lacrosse team or whatever.
Yeah.
But what surprises me, and I don't know much about it, but I did read an article. Like it's the teams that I would assume football, basketball, soccer, baseball, if they're any decent or whatever. But I forget about rowing makes a ton. Golf, like you follow the money. Like I'm trying to put Junior on. Like you should like me. I need golf lessons. I'm going to start to pick up golf because I'm old now. But I was like, you need to look at this. Like not only like is it a sport where you progressively get better, right? Like as you get it, like basketball and football, you decline. To like the mechanics of golf, you get better and better over time, right? But the scholarships are ridiculous for golf. Like it's a well kept secret, like that in volleyball. You're like, these kids are getting some ridiculous scholarships to go to these schools for sports that are just fun, right? Like you're not getting destroyed through football. You're not getting, bad knees and ankles and stuff like that through basketball. Like you're just able to go out there, perform, and then school's paid for. So it's crazy.
What's a little different for those though is that you have to pay money up front to get into these tournaments, though, right? Like
Yes,
if you're good
yes,
enough, you get sponsors, right? But
yeah,
like if you play on a basketball team, like the owner is going to take care of everything, the travel and all that. When it comes
right,
to golf, tennis, those individual sports, though, like you have to have your own money. No, mind you, you get a good sponsor, right? Like the Nike money is going to pay for that, right? They're going to pay for you to enter that tournament, do all this
yeah,
stuff, provide your tools to participate. But yeah, but like the payoff is really good though. You know what I mean? It can be if you're successful, if you're good at
right,
it.
right. You're not gonna get most likely you're not gonna get TBI from golf, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. True.
like you're not damaging yourself for the love of the sport or whatever. But I don't know. Like I go back and forth. It's it's a dangerous like football is a dangerous sport. Like I enjoy watching it, but man, I'm not trying to be out there getting concussions. It's like I want to train to be a boxer, but I don't want to fight. Like don't punch me in the head. I just want to be in boxing shape if possible. But um let me see, what did I do? So I went to Huntsville. So I went to the Cyber Summit in Huntsville, Alabama. And that city is booming now. Like, so we had 26 NOS, right? Like the Network Operations Center. Like nobody wanted to go to Gunter Annex if they didn't have to. It's a nice area. The people are nice, but there's nothing there. Like Huntsville is like I went there. It's all new roads. It's all new construction. They're just building on top of building. Like houses have to probably start to be picking up in gorgeous houses, like lots of space. Like that's about to be shut down. Y'all, y'all are about to be Atlanta pretty soon. Like houses on top of houses, or Florida. But it was a cool experience, like seeing the summit, run into a bunch of people I had worked with in the past, right? Like I people who live in Tampa that I don't see on a regular basis or have not run into. since I was active duty. I ran into in Huntsville. It's crazy. So that is the future. Like the biggest booth was FBI. So FBI cyber headquarters is going to be down there. And then you have your Booz Allens and your man, so many I can never say it right.
GDIT is probably down there.
Yeah.
Like,
How do you pronounce the one? It's not Do Light. It's I always say their name wrong. Starts with a D.
I'm not familiar.
Deloitte. There it is. I can never say their name right. Deloitte was there. Booz Allen was there. My company was there. Um, it's a really good get together. So I went to uh 3 seminars. I did one the first day on zero trust. Um, I thought it was pretty cool. Like their solution for the DoD, this company was talking about how their solution for zero trust works and what have you. I went to one for CMMC, just the new 2.0 and how they're getting ready. But then I went to one about supply chain that I thought was very interesting. So there's different companies are getting it in different ways, but I saw a demonstration where they're basically able to, in real time, using real and open source as well as other forms of intelligence, they're able to tell you who manufactured your device, who were their subcontracts, where those pieces came from, all the way. So it's cradle to grave. It's like finished product all the way to what mine the precious metals were dug from. Like the entire supply chain is broken down, so that way you can know uh if this is okay for DoD distribution and consumption, right? Like, was any piece of this touched by an adversary or a company that rebranded itself, or uh, did it, do you have to be worried about this product not making it to production because it's being part of it's being built in a country that has currently civil unrest, or the bottom is falling out of the company's stock, like cradle to grave, like every component in the device. I thought that was really cool.
So I know that's something that they've been able to do, not necessarily down to the mine where the materials may have been
Yeah.
taken from, but I know that's something they do because that's how we go about verifying, like in certain environments, that they're TAA compliant, right? You have to know where it comes from, and sometimes there are. I can tell you, sometimes there are investigations that go into that when something does happen to slip through, right? Like for whatever reason, you may have brought something into a facility that shouldn't have been there, or whatever it may be. Like there is tracking. There's other organizations that do the tracking to say, okay, let's see where this stuff came from. But again, going down to the mine, it was milled from. I don't know how you say
They said they like, because they showed it, they're like, sometimes we can only go 1 to 3 tiers, but sometimes we can get 7 or 8. And then they showed like how they basically got it from the final product all the way down to this mine in Africa is where they dug to get the precious metals for the silicon. I was like, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
So I think that was at Deloitte's booth. Again, none of this advertising. Like, if y'all want to pay me, cool. But I'm just talking about what I saw. Oh, Booz had a really cool demonstration as well. So, but both me and Shannon have worked in secure environments, and it can be a hassle with uh, removing components from like laptops and PCs and things of that nature, right? Like it needs to go into a SCIF. That was at secure. Oh man, I'm forgetting it.
compartmentalized.
Yes. Oh
Geez,
man, something facility. What's the I stand
yeah.
for? Oh no, we'll get back there. But SCIF, like,
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
yeah. So you have to like you have to fix devices to make them go into the SCIF and what have you. They had one that was they have a geofencing type solution. I can't remember what it's called, but they're looking to where the everything functions on the device, and as you cross different barriers within the facility, it disables different components within let's say a laptop, to the point where a person's ID will cause the devices in the room to also switch. So if you're working with coalition or you're working with someone who's uncleared, if they enter the room with the device, different components of the device will shut off. And then if you try to take the device out of the facility, it will brick the device and then you can wipe it remotely. I was like, that is cool. Like, I felt old. I was like, you could do what?
That's
What a
very
time to be alive.
yeah.
Right? Because it makes no sense to buy these all of this tech and then have to disable it, right? And then on top of it, having to be worried that someone will use them properly, right? Like trusting your users and what have you. But to have it where it's geofence and it's just doing its own thing, based on the parameters that you set up, I was like, that is nice.
That'll save you a lot of, making announcements in a facility, turning the light on, when someone
Yeah.
unsecure comes in. Like if it's just based off their badge, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's actually very cool. But like it could be one of those things where it can go very wrong if it malfunctions, right? Like
Right, exactly.
you're bricking stuff it doesn't need to be. But
Yeah, all the
no,
laptops.
yeah, just but sensitive compartmented information facility. That's what
There
it
it
is.
is. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Out here looking like scrubs. I worked in those facilities for 20 years.
yeah, I
Life.
know.
I was like, what does it stand for?
Yeah.
Someone was screaming at their radio in the car. Well, yeah, it was a lot of really interesting things at the summit. So I'm glad I went. It was I learned a lot. I got to see a lot of cool things. So uh, not as big as I thought it would be. Like the facility was huge, the amount of people was huge, but I've been to Suffolk, so the special forces does one down here in Tampa, where it's the Amalie Arena, right? Like filled with people and things of that nature. So I think it's going to grow to get that way. So I'm not knocking it at all. I was expecting, like, my anxiety was up because I don't like to be around that many people, and I was like, man, it's gonna be packed. And then there was actually room to move around. So I appreciated it. But I was surprised. It was pretty modest comparatively to something that would have been down here.
Well, it's Huntsville, not Tampa. So
Yeah, and I get that. But
you want to
I
go to Tampa.
yeah, I think Huntsville is gonna, like, man, there was stuff like the food was good down there too. Um, but like it was still real pretty, but you can see the urban sprawl starting to grow, right? They got apartment buildings everywhere, they got houses everywhere, they got new roads, like there's construction everywhere. The airport was still it's called Huntsville International Airport. It didn't have a Starbucks and stuff like that, right? It had like a spaceport or whatever. And again, not knocking it. I'm not knocking Huntsville, but I can see it's still Huntsville, but it's about to boom. It's about to be crazy.
Well, there was anticipation, right? Like for different things to move down there in the Department of Defense. It just did not happen, right? Or not going to happen. But they're still keeping their doors open, right? They're still trying to make it happen. So
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Like a decade from now, like might be the Mecca, right? I might be leaving Tampa to go to Huntsville to go to summits and things of that nature. But if I can help it, just keep everything here. Keep it local. I'm not a fan of traveling any longer. I just want to just chill. So keep in my backyard. But again, it was pretty cool. Just there's a bunch of other stuff that I saw while I was down there too, but there are a lot of cyber is evolving and growing. And again, they had a ton of seminars. I was only able to attend 3 in my 2 days, but I'm sure there's a bunch of other cool stuff that's brought up as well. Didn't get a chance to play anything, so I'm still trying to play a game. Hopefully that will change in the next couple of weeks where I can actually sit down and play something. But as soon as Spider-Man drops, that'll be my go-to. Um, and then like I said, I started the Continental. Me and you both watched that documentary. What's the guy's name? The dude, is it Roy?
oh, for BSI?
Yeah, BSI.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's
Yeah. Roy is a sociopath, right? Like the dude built an entire institution. Like, so that's what interests me most of, right? I'm not trying to give a dude kudos or a pat on the back, but it's the ability to sell people on a dream. Like con men are a different type of person. Con men and women, right? But are different types of people. Like there's one thing to envision something, get it running, and then turn it into something legitimate. And there's another thing where you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna commit crime again. You know what I mean? It's like,
But the thing is, like, I I don't know. Maybe it's just how I grew up. Like it would have taken me 30 seconds to realize he was a huckster. Like he was a con man. Like
Yeah.
some of his mannerisms and the way he talked and like some
The
of the things
eyes.
he said, yeah,
Eyes
yeah, the eyes, the
got
game
your eyes
away.
shifting.
Just some of the things he said just went nowhere. Like you ever talk to somebody that's like, you're like, you're not saying anything right now.
Yeah,
Like
you're just saying words.
you're just saying words and a bunch of buzzwords and stuff like he is that guy. Like within 30 seconds, I would have been like, okay, I don't want to deal with you. Like I'd be checking my wallet, I'd be checking for my wallet, my
Right.
keys. I'd be like, oh, did he get me? You know what I mean? Like, but
Right.
yeah, I don't know. But and again, that's assuming that what I saw in the documentary is how he was in real life, which I envision it was, right? Like I envision this is how he
Yeah, yeah, they get you comfortable because he started out kind of tense and not know what to say, and then he got real comfortable like admitting crime near the end. And you know they chop things up to be a certain way, but I don't think they had to do too much editing. To be honest with you,
no. And even with what they like, even when it came to the editing, like there was a point where he like walked off when they came up with one of
yeah,
the right, like, and he's still mic'd up, they still got cameras following him, and it's just like, dude, like this is take your medicine. You know what I mean? Like this
right,
is what you
right.
did.
And it was over something dumb. Like they asked him some really tough questions, and he admitted to either lying, cheating, or stealing. And then a lot of stuff he was doing, he's the type of person that they make rules for, right? Like because he's so out of the parameter of things you think would be okay to do. Like I think at one point to do was like, as an adult, I just would know that it's not right to do, right? Like some things should just be common sense. But yeah, if it's not written down, you have people like Roy there who will test the boundaries of the system and then break them. So now you have to make rules that should be common sense to protect people because he out there messing up kids' futures.
Ruining
So
their credit, like
yeah, ruining their credit. He got them out there taking triple P loans, right? Or I guess the PPP loans and stuff like that.
yeah,
He's literally ruining people's lives because they trust them with their kids. That's first off. But I wouldn't do, but also I'm not in a situation where I, you know, like the means to the end may be beneficial, right, for both my child and for me because we're growing up in a bad situation.
I don't know if the ends could justify the means, but by what some of the stuff he was doing, right? So like
Right.
some of
No,
the
I mean
stuff
the
was
parents
saying,
trusted him. Like I wouldn't give my kid to Roy, but yeah,
yeah,
take him like to a school I've not seen to play sports with kids I don't know, right? But if you're in a situation where like D1 is the only way to get out of uh
your
your
situation.
yeah your situation, maybe I don't know. I'm not
No,
there, right? I'm blessed and I have to deal with that type of stress.
I don't know because they had the one woman that was there, Christy, I think was her name. Like she
Oh,
was,
the teen
you know,
mom.
yeah, she
Yeah,
was there. Like she saw the BS, and it's like you didn't think anything of this sooner. You know what I mean? Like
he's
she
not
took
paying
him.
bills.
She took him one time. Like he had kind of admitted, like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, let's go to Kinko's. Like, you going to Kinko's for checks? Like, what's like what
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
talking about?
Like I don't know. But the system is set up to or the I should say the system's not set up to deal with that type of capacity, like people who just think of new crimes. Like you you are a genius to but some stuff was just blatant. He just was just stealing, right? Like getting rooms and hotel rooms and stuff like that, and then backing out of it, getting kicked out. Like stuff he knew he shouldn't have did. So hopefully he gets his comeuppance because that wasn't right for some of those kids. But some of those kids weren't kids. So that's
That's
also a
true, too.
thing.
Yeah,
That's a grown man.
it's true.
Like
Yeah.
you were playing semi-professional football. So I don't know. But yeah, if people have not watched it and are in any shape or form interested in either football or masterminds of crime, it combines the two. It's called BS High School. It's on HBO or not. I'm sorry, not HBO. It's Max. It's on Max. So definitely check it out. Um, and then I saw that the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is on Peacock, or no, it's on Paramount. Paramount Plus has it already.
It's already on there?
Yep,
I was like,
and it did well. It's already on there.
yeah, I just took my kids to see it a few weeks ago. That's why I'm like, wow.
Because it's something Mutant Mayhem or something like that is what it's called, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, that's it. And I saw it was on there last night, so I added it to my list. I'm gonna watch it probably today.
I think you'll enjoy it, man. I was pleasantly surprised because anything associated with Seth Rogen, I was like, should I bring my children to this? It's
Right.
PG. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't want to see I don't want the turtles like smoking weed and what I mean,
Right, right.
stuff like that. But it was not like that. It was funny though. It was definitely funny.
Okay. Yeah, I saw there's a lot of names in it, right? Like he brought a lot of actors, voices to it. So I'm gonna check it out. And so I don't know if it'll be tonight or not, but I'll watch it with the youngest, see if I can get him into the turtles. Aside from that, man, like I'm going into another work week. Um, Still doing driver lessons with my oldest, but we also signed her up for some. So we got a 12-hour package. So that'll kick off next week. Um, let a professional kind of steer her towards passing the test, and getting those fundamentals down. Because I don't want to teach her bad habits. So there's that as well. Let her develop those herself.
I had to do that with my older two. I think I expected too much. You know what I mean? Not and I know how this is gonna sound, but like it's a business for like a driving school, right? Or someone that helps them do
Yeah.
it. So they wanna make money, they want to do whatever. Me, I want them to be safe. You know what I mean? So I think my expectations were just a little too rigid. But it's crazy because when they did the like they did the driving school and they passed the test like first time, like they were good.
Okay.
I was like, okay, all right. It's just me, just dad being too careful, I guess, right? Like I care that my children are safe. I guess that's bad on me. I kept them.
No, no, I would just say like you're going to be overly critical, right? I want to get to the point where um I ever take me somewhere and I'm just cool with it. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm just like figuring out where I want to take me, the safest route there possible. Like I can't wait till it's just like normal. Like I'm gonna pick up dad, take him to whatever. Like so, we'll see. I think it's like 8 lessons, 8 hour and a half lessons. So at the end of that, she should be able to take her test and then hop in the car and see what happens. But throughout that time, I also plan the not teach her, but to let her drive me somewhere. Right. I want to see if these lessons are paying off before we get to the end. So
And she may be less nervous too, like when it's not a parent, right? Like, this is
right, right, being overly critical.
relaxed, right?
So we'll see what the future holds. But yeah, I'm excited. No, I don't think there's any releases. I want to see that movie Creator maybe in theater before it comes home.
Do you really?
Mhm.
Like that is kind of your bag. I should
That's
have.
my thing. You
I
got
should
the
think. Yeah,
dystopic
yeah,
future fighting robots.
yeah.
Uh, Denzel's son, right? Because that's like his genre. I
Yeah,
think it's gonna
he's
be good. Was
he's
it? Is it
very
John
much
David?
John David Washington. Yep.
Yeah, John David Washington.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, uh, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make time. Right? Like I don't know what other I pick and choose because the Marvels comes out at some point, right?
That's November, isn't it?
Is it November? Okay,
I think so.
so yeah, I might watch this one now, and then that gives me I gotta recharge my social battery. Like movie theater is a bit much, so and I might go in off time. I might go like the middle of the day or something like that of a weekend, just so I can avoid the crowds.
I always do the early mornings. Like when I try to do it, I try to do the early morning showings when I do that because, especially on the weekend, like people have stayed up late Friday nights. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Saturday night, same thing. Like if I go Sunday, well, I don't know about Sundays now. It's football season, so that's stay
Yeah.
home watch games. But yeah,
Yeah, so we'll see what the future holds. But yeah, thank you for another great episodes, right? So if you have not, please go back and check out Monday and Tuesday, our topics. Wednesday discussion. Thursday will be a throwback. So I'll be just surprised as y'all after I pick it. And then Fridays is everything else. So that's what this is: movies, books, games, all that good stuff. Um, if you have not already, please subscribe. Please share with a friend. Please go to the YouTube channel, subscribe there as well. And then, just open up a playlist of our stuff and just play in the background. Let our voices, drive your day. Or if you don't want to hear us, you just put us on mute and still run us in the background. But definitely appreciate everybody's patronage, and our numbers are steadily increased. So hopefully this continues. Again, like, share, subscribe. All the websites that go by our name. Give me a person. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, and Threads. Stay safe, stay secure.